The room erupted the moment the winner was announced. Under the bright lights of the 2026 iHeartRadio Music Awards, a cross-continental collaboration took center stage, and at the heart of it was Bruno Mars, once again proving that his influence stretches far beyond borders, genres, and expectations. In a defining moment of the night, Apt by Rosé and Bruno Mars secured the award for Best Collaboration at the iHeartRadio Music Awards 2026. The win not only marked another milestone in Bruno Mars' decorated career, but also made history for Rosé, who became the first K-pop act ever to claim victory in the category. For Bruno Mars, however, the moment represented something deeper, a continuation of a career built on reinvention, cultural fusion, and an almost unmatched instinct for global resonance. The success of Apt arrives at a pivotal moment in Bruno Mars' trajectory. After years of dominating charts with hits that blend funk, R&B, pop, and soul, Mars has shifted into a new phase, one that leans heavily on collaboration and cross-cultural storytelling. While he has never been a stranger to partnerships, this latest project signals a deliberate embrace of a more globalized music landscape. Apt is not just a song, it is a strategic alignment of two massive fan bases and two distinct musical identities, seamlessly woven into a track that feels both intimate and universal. Industry insiders describe the collaboration as effortless but meticulously engineered. According to Los Angeles, bass producer who has worked with multiple chart-topping artists, the track's brilliance lies in its restraint. Bruno Mars understands space and music better than almost anyone. He knows when to step back and let the emotion breathe, the producer said. That's why Apt works. It doesn't feel forced, it feels lived in. The scenes, sources suggest that Bruno Mars played a far more hands-on role than publicly acknowledged. Known for his perfectionism, Mars reportedly spent months refining the production, layering analog textures with modern pop sensibilities. The goal was clear: create a song that could resonate equally in Seoul, Los Angeles, and beyond. This meticulous attention to detail has long been a hallmark of Bruno Mars' approach, dating back to his early days as a songwriter crafting hits for other artists before stepping into the spotlight himself. The impact of this latest win extends far beyond a single trophy. In many ways, it reflects the evolving dynamics of the American music industry, where global collaborations are no longer novelty acts but central to mainstream success. Bruno Mars has been at the forefront of this shift, consistently blurring the lines between genres and cultures. From his retro-inspired hits to his modern chart toppers, he has built a catalog that feels timeless yet forward-looking. Music critics have noted that Bruno Mars' ability to adapt without losing his core identity is what sets him apart. He's one of the few artists who can pivot stylistically without alienating his audience, said a senior editor at a leading U.S. music publication. With Apt, he's not chasing trends, he's shaping them. For Rosé, the collaboration represents a significant step in her evolution as a global artist. But for Bruno Mars, it reinforces a narrative that has defined his career, the ability to elevate not just himself but everyone he works with. This dynamic was evident in the way the two artists complemented each other on Apt. Rather than competing for attention, they created a balance that allowed both voices to shine. The song's commercial performance further underscores its cultural impact. Within weeks of its release, Apt climbed streaming charts across multiple continents, fueled by strong playlist placements and viral traction on social media platforms. Analysts point to Bruno Mars' enduring appeal as a key factor in the song's success. Even in an era dominated by younger artists and rapidly shifting trends, his name continues to carry significant weight. Part of that staying power lies in his deep understanding of performance as both art and spectacle. Whether on stage or in the studio, Bruno Mars approaches music with a sense of theatricality that resonates with audiences. This was evident in the live rendition of Apt. During awards season, where the chemistry between the artists translated into a performance that felt both polished and spontaneous. Yet beneath the polished exterior, there's a more complex story, one that speaks to the pressures of maintaining relevance in an industry that often prioritizes novelty over consistency. Those close to Bruno Mars describe him as intensely private, someone who prefers to let his work speak for itself. This has only added to the mystique surrounding his recent projects, including Apt. He's always thinking 5 steps ahead, said a longtime collaborator. Even when he disappears for a while, it's never random. He's building something. That sense of intentionality is evident in the broader arc of his career. From his breakout hits to his critically acclaimed projects, Bruno Mars has consistently demonstrated an ability to anticipate where music is heading while staying rooted in its history. His influences, ranging from classic soul to 80s funk, are not just references, they are integral to his creative DNA in the context of American pop culture. Bruno Mars occupies a unique position. He's both a traditionalist and an innovator, someone who respects the past while pushing the boundaries of what pop music can be. This duality has allowed him to remain relevant across multiple generations of listeners, a feat that few artists achieve. The success of Apt also highlights the growing importance of authenticity in collaborations. In an industry where partnerships are often driven by algorithms and marketing strategies, this project feels refreshingly genuine. According to insiders, the connection between Bruno Mars and Rosé was rooted in mutual respect rather than commercial calculation. That authenticity has not gone unnoticed by fans. Social media reactions to the award win were overwhelmingly positive, with many praising the song's emotional depth and the artist's chemistry. For Bruno Mars, this kind of organic engagement is arguably more valuable than any chart position. As the music industry continues to evolve, the question remains, what comes next for Bruno Mars? While details about future projects remain tightly guarded, there is widespread speculation that he's working on new material that further explores international collaborations. If apt, is any indication these efforts are likely to push the boundaries of what mainstream pop can achieve. For now, the best collaboration win serves as both a milestone and a reminder. It is a testament to Bruno Mars' enduring relevance, his ability to adapt, and his commitment to excellence. More importantly, it underscores his role as a bridge between cultures, genres, and audiences. In an era defined by rapid change, Bruno Mars remains a constant, a reminder that great music transcends borders and that true artistry lies in connection. As he continues to evolve, one thing is clear. His influence on the global music landscape is far from over. As the spotlight fades from the awards stage, the ripple effects of that moment continue to spread across the industry. For Bruno Mars, the victory is not just another accolade. It is a signal of where his career is heading next. While many artists struggle to maintain momentum after reaching global superstardom, Bruno Mars appears to be entering a phase defined not by reinvention alone, but by quiet domination through influence. Sources close to recent studio sessions suggest that Bruno Mars has been increasingly selective with his releases, focusing less on volume and more on precision. This strategy, while risky in a fast-moving digital era, has consistently worked in his favor. Each appearance, each collaboration carries weight, each release feels like an event. In the case of Apt, that approach paid off in both critical acclaim and cultural impact. Music executives in the United States have begun to view Bruno Mars not just as a performer but as a curator of sound. His ability to identify voices that complement his own and then craft a sonic environment where those voices can thrive is becoming one of his most valuable assets. A senior A&R executive at a major label described it simply: when Bruno Mars attaches his name to a project, it immediately gains credibility, but more importantly, it gains direction. That direction is increasingly global. The collaboration with Rosé is part of a broader shift in the industry, where the lines between Western and Asian markets are dissolving faster than ever before. Yet what separates Bruno Mars from others attempting similar crossovers is his commitment to authenticity. Rather than adapting superficially to different markets, he integrates influences in a way that feels natural and intentional. Cultural analysts note that this approach has helped reshape how American audiences perceive international artists. Projects like Apt don't just introduce new sounds, they normalize them, said a pop culture researcher based in New York. Bruno Mars acts as a bridge, making global music feel accessible without diluting its identity. The scenes, however, the process is far from effortless. Reports indicate that Bruno Mars maintains a rigorous creative routine, often revisiting tracks dozens of times before finalizing them. This level of detail can slow down production, but it also ensures a level of quality that has become synonymous with his brand. It is this discipline, combined with an almost instinctive understanding of audience emotion, that continues to set him apart. There is also a personal dimension to this phase of his career. While Bruno Mars has largely kept his private life out of the spotlight, those familiar with his journey suggest that his recent work reflects a more introspective mindset. Themes of connection, distance, and emotional vulnerability are more pronounced, even in collaborations. In Apt, these elements surface subtly, giving the track a depth that resonates beyond its polished production. Fans, too, are beginning to notice this evolution. Online discussions increasingly frame Bruno Mars not just as an entertainer, but as an artist entering a legacy-defining era. His influence is no longer limited to chart performance. It extends to shaping how music is created, marketed, and experienced in a global context. Looking ahead, industry watchers expect Bruno Mars to continue exploring unconventional partnerships, possibly extending beyond music into film, fashion, or multimedia storytelling. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the trajectory suggests an artist who is not content to remain within traditional boundaries. In many ways, this moment echoes earlier turning points in his career, times when Bruno Mars chose to pivot rather than plateau. Each time, the result has been a broader, more impactful presence in the cultural landscape. The success of Apt may well be another such turning point, one that defines not just the next chapter of his career but the direction of global pop itself. As audiences around the world replay the performance, stream the song, and revisit the moment that made history, one conclusion becomes increasingly clear. Bruno Mars is no longer just participating in the evolution of music, he is helping to lead it.